the reasons they're up in this game.
Down low. And Freak gets it to go on the assist by Rondo. Rondo's got his 8th assist here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Kings Dance King.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Hi, Kevin. Steve Kerr was just going over the plan with his team. With the game hanging in the balance, he tried to give his players some added motivation, saying, quote, "This is the time, guys. Right now. Be in this moment. Do your job, and we'll get the win." Back to you.
And Thompson kicks to Iguodala. It's hauled in by the Kings. Rondo's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And Freak throws it down.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Sacramento Kings Dance Team. Let's hear a red, white, and blue welcome for your team, USA!
Outside Curry. He kicks to Thompson. Green, the screen. Thompson dishes to Green. To the inside. No good. Now Sacramento takes it the other way. Iguodala with the steal. Now the Warriors moving it up. Green passes to Thompson. No good off the back of the rim. To take the lead. 13 feet away. Money!
Boy, what a pressure bucket that was.
Greg, now that's coming through in the clutch.
Here's Curry. What a big possession right here.
No doubt about it, guys. The tension is palpable.
24 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Bogut sets a screen for Thompson. Shoots from the high post. It's in!
That bucket was absolutely huge. A defensive stop can seal the deal.
"16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pass to Freak. It's in!
And he's been the catalyst all game long. Love how he's distributing the basketball.
No doubt about it, Greg. I mean, when the offense runs through him, it's really smooth.
Eight seconds left in the game. A shot by Thompson, and no one's around. He's off from 3. And an intentional foul right there. And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss.
At the line for 2.
And the second of 2 is good. That will put them up by 2. So it's the Kings taking the W in a close one. That was a fun night of basketball.
Well, DeMarcus,
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, along with Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Let's Freak. He came out of the locker room at halftime and was immediately on fire. That third quarter was his, and he did not hesitate to exert his will.
I know Freak's going to have a lot of people back home in Harlem extremely proud of the way he played tonight. And they should be proud of him because his play was genius. Just a textbook example of how to gain a mental edge and continue to exploit it.
Man, he gave him a big boost, and they probably didn't even know it was coming. This guy provides such great depth. He's an option that can come through whenever they need him, and they really need him tonight to put a stop to the losing streak.
And that wraps things up, folks. Thanks for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin.
tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap.
Notice I didn't even say that word. What's that word?
Hey guys, on today's episode of NBA 2K TV, we show you some never-before-seen footage from this season. Of course, you can earn some VC with 2K TV Entertainment.
Big road trip coming up for the team, and it all starts tonight. If we can set the tone with the win here, it'll make a huge difference. The team's ready, and I know I'm ready. So I guess the next step is to just get out there and get it done. I feel like this one's on me, though. So time to earn my stripes.
The crowd is assembled here at the Target Center in Minneapolis, looking for the Timberwolves to have a victory here on their home floor. And we've got it for you live, right here on 2K Sports. Last game for the Timberwolves, they picked up the double. In for Kevin Garnett. Shabazz Muhammad's checked in for Kevin Martin. And Zach LaVine subbed in for Ricky Rubio. On the court for Sacramento, Freak in at shooting guard. Bellinelli is out there with Costa Koufos. And there's Collison, and it's Cauley Stein in at the center filling out the middle.
You know, guys, in a draft that had a lot of top-tier big men as the top picks, Willie Cauley-Stein is a little bit the forgotten man, if you will. But he can be a very impactful player now and down the road as well.
Now here's Muhammad. T right on him. Got a piece of it. Here's Freak. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Houston.
You know, when you're bad or struggling in the West, things can go south in a hurry. I mean, the Wolves ended with the worst record in the league last year at 16-66, and a lot of those losses came in their conference.
Well, last season, the Wolves did struggle in conference, as was expected. 7-45 against the rest of the Western Conference.
Listen, nothing harder in sports than learning how to win. And there's no doubt that Minnesota took a lot of lumps as a young team last season. 3 of those conference wins that you mentioned, though, did come against playoff teams. So there's that little silver lining of hope.
Hey, for Zach LaVine, the dunk contest last season was his coming out party to the world. He put on a show that everybody in the NBA was buzzing about.
Bellinelli dishes to Koufos. Good! Koufos has got his first points in this one.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Here's LaVine. What a tremendous game he played against New York. To the inside, and stolen by Koufos. And here we go, Freak heading to the hoop. Can't hit. Wiggins with some nice D.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
And for LaVine and his dunking, if you saw him in college or last season, you knew he was a very special player in the air.
Well, LaVine can be one of the great all-time dunkers with his height and ability to lift off. He gets airborne so effortlessly that there are few that can match his power and finesse once he's airborne.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
Here's Pekovic. Kufis with the block.
So far on the glass, it hasn't even been close.
Yeah, they're taking it to him. It feels like they've gotten every loose ball. And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Now Bellinelli. Stolen by LaVine. And we reached the end of the first quarter. King. And here's Freak on his experience as a one-and-done college player. Now with more and more freshmen, Clark, making the jump to the pros, we can expect to hear more stories like this, I'm sure.
Well, without question, Kevin, that's the case in the landscape that we find ourselves in. But, you know, there's something to be said for developing all 4 years in college when that's the best route for an individual player. Nowadays, I think, unfairly so, there's a ton of pressure on young guys sometimes to leave prematurely. We'll see if Freak's decision pays off for him long term.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And looking at what we've seen from Sacramento so far, guys, what do you think?
I tell you what, defensively, they have been in tune with one another as intense as I've seen.
Yeah, nice job helping out on the rotations and drives, doing really good work at the defensive end.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. On the court for Minnesota, Rubio and Martin are their backcourt. Downs is out there with Garnett, and it's Muhammad in at the 3.
Move the ball.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Well, Kev, Freak in the last matchup against the Rockets really lit up the floor. He had 18 points, and along with what he did on the offensive end, he also played some stellar defense as well. He really was the second unit for his team in a great performance, guys.
All right, thanks, Doris. He's got a lot of positives to take away from that game.
He really does. It was one of his better performances, and that's saying something because we've seen this guy have a lot of good ones.
And you'd have to imagine that he'll be out to build on it, to go one better here tonight.
Timberwolves trail by 10. And guys, KG is so loved and has given so much to the area of Minneapolis, St. Paul, the state of Minnesota. He really, Clark, views it as his home.
And Kevin, you started with him there in Minnesota when he got underway in the league. Fans love having him there and involved with the franchise again for sure.
Outside Rondo. Second quarter of action, about a minute and a half played. Pekovic is checked in for Towns. Zhang comes in for Kevin Garnett. Andrew Wiggins, who's checked in for Muhammad. And LaVine subbed in for Martin. Now here's Freak, guarded closely. The rim-rattling two-handed jam.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throw down.
And Clark, now's the time